that many times. I was not designed to be film director. All what I'm doing today, it was not, I would say, coming from the tradition of my family and what is behind me. All what I do is discover. That's why it's still lasting, and that's why we could say it's still making sense, I could say. When I went to Prague to study, I was there not because I was a good student, but they didn't know what to do with me. And apparently directing was, I was not one of those who were spending childhood in a cinematheque and watching movies, getting ready for this. I was very much enjoying life and living life. This is why I'm writing stories now. My second book will be published in October. And remains of this life, which was on the street, which was in fact big inspiration in this first period of life until 20, when I was not even dreaming that I will make a movie. I'm writing now and I see, reconstructing this period, I see in fact what happens with me and how I was, not knowing the time, I was ready to do something like cinema, music, and writing.
Cinema of today, is it very different from the cinema when you started? It seems that we don't have these leading figures as Buñuel, Fellini, Bertolucci.
Cinema today, objectively, is destroyed. Cinema today exists as much as Cannes Film Festival exists. Because, in humanity, everything is like this. You have one place that generates major things that the others imitate. Cannes is today an institution that brings movies that make sense, but film market is the one that designs everything, in which the quantity works against quality, and we have a revolution in the way that films are filmed, because if you film the movie with an old-fashioned camera, it's not the question of trends and fashion. It's the question of quickness and other things. So today we have easy way to make movie, but we are overflown with stupidity of the mainstream that is blocking all the human impact. We see good movies from time to time, but these movies are shown in the festivals. They don't reach cinemas. But cinemas are also in change. What is successful in cinema in 90% is stupid, because cinema has an ideological mission. It has to cover major human, existential, political, historical, and whatever question we ask ourselves. Therefore, even heroes in these successful, stupid films do not exist. When you say controversy today, I think every human body is controversial. Every human, you don't need to be artist, is controversial. But when they want to put you into a special position, when you do not eat hamburger and when you don't like video games or you don't respect Hollywood, you are instantly becoming controversial, which is very dangerous, because it leads to a new era in which there's a great book which is called No Logo, which is kind of a Bible for anti-globalists. Even when you ask questions that are serious, they hate you very much, because you have to be in function of the target, and target is the final exploitation, and they exploit everything and everybody every day as much as they can. That's why this globalist system is more and more sadomasochistic.
You're a proof that we can move from a movie director to an architect. You just inaugurated Andrid City in Republika Srpska in Bosnia, and this is your second project. The first one is Wooden City, where you live today. That was actually, everything started from the movie set.
Yes, because everything is, I was always asking myself, when you build, there is a tiny line in this film set that separates film set from the place where you could live. Sometimes it looks much better and much more lively than in the life. And then I said, shooting Life is a Miracle, I said, why don't I make scenery from the wooden elements in which we could create and reconstruct something that, unfortunately, in our country, all is destroyed. If you go to South France, you could find the cities from the 13th century. If you go to Serbia, you have a few ruins, 300 years old and nothing more. Even we had medieval age reign and we had the civilization before. So that's why from cinema to the old times, and Andrićgrad is one of those obstacles that we had in the past, and I want to reconstruct as if it was always over there.
In this wooden city of yours, you established a film festival. Now is 6th year of the festival, and we saw some of the great figures of today's cinema passing through, from Jim Jarmusch, Johnny Depp, Isabelle Huppert, brothers Dardenne. They're all there to celebrate independent movie. Is it your response to Hollywood industry?
I don't respond to anybody. I just believe in the quality of cinema, and I want young people to get one more good ambience, to be able to learn, to exchange the information, and possibly to find a way to be helped for the future and to show what they do. Because when a young person comes to Cannes, it's quite lonely, because in Cannes it's a huge machinery that you have no time to talk and to meet and to be encouraged for your first step.
And the concept of this festival is very related to the family. Family is important.
Family as a mythical place. I believe that family is, even today, capitalism and post-capitalism is changing everything, including family. And I'm convinced that we are like animals, and we are going to be like animals always until a certain extent. And if you compare us to some wild animals, you will see that the first initial group must be maintained in order to keep our human characteristics, despite the fact that tendency is different, that family is destroyed, dismantled, and absolutely changed.
From Serbian mountains, we come back to Atlantic beaches of Gijón when we celebrate today a 50th anniversary of International Film Festival. What would be your message to this festival?
My feeling is that I was in the end of the world when we were landing yesterday, and I'm in this country very often, very frequently, and I love this country. This is not compliment. You know, when Spain is winning in football, I have a feeling that I'm Spanish, especially when they play against the Dutch and teams like this, and Germans, especially when they beat Germans easily. And I love that because throughout this game, you could project many of national characteristics and specific feeling and specific elements that no others have. So when I'm considered as a Spanish friend of Spanish football, I'm also very close to Spanish cinema. I'm very close friend to Pedro and to many other guys, and I believe into Spanish future, especially after they speak about the crisis so loudly. Those who produce crisis by loading too much on you that you cannot succeed, in fact, are those who are pretending to find Palma de Mallorca or something that you could pay off and they could change the face of Europe. I'm very happy that this festival lasts so long, because might be in the crisis of cinema, the festivals will be the only, will remain the only places around the world in which you are going to be able to see good cinema. Because less and less good movies have a chance to sneak into the cinema against the quantity of stupid films that the mainstream is projecting.
We hope to receive you here with your movies next time.
With pleasure.